Welcome to One Brothas Mind, and I am KD Smooth. Today we will question and challenge popular information and views from a B1 perspective, while we expose the real facts you need. We do this to strengthen your logical, critical, and discerning thinking skills. Because in today's world, hard choices are mandatory and they come with consequences. So you need all the information. And at One Brothas Mind, we do this from a B1 Yeshua the Christ followers perspective. Now, if you're not ready, you better get ready with KD Smooth at One Brothas Mind. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back again with you for another broadcast here at One Brothas Mind. Trying to bring you guys some information that you need. Today we're going to be discussing the whole issue of being at DEFCON 1, or to say it better, if the U.S. government in the United States, if they are currently at DEFCON 1, are you? If you personally, you and your family is not at DEFCON 1, why are you not? Okay. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to share a brief video with you of some leaked information that was put out. And then after, it's not a video, it's just sound. And then after the sound, we will come in here with, actually I'm going to go ahead and do a video, y'all. We're going to go ahead and do the video, do it right, get y'all straight. Okay, let's do that. So briefly, we're going to do this video, and then after the video, we're going to come back and chop it up. Here we go.
Okay, thank you. All right, are you there?
I am. How are you?
I'm doing great, great. Agent X, great to have you. I am live right now recording a video that's going to be on Patreon as we speak. And I wanted to talk about what we discussed about an hour ago about where we're at on this information. Tell us at 11:38 a.m. what information that you found out about.
Okay, 11:38 this morning. I'm in constant contact with various contacts within various agencies. Let's just put it that way. And we have a host network. We've worked together for many, many years, served downrange together many, many times, and basically watch each other's back. Got notified at 11:38 this morning. The United States started receiving a series of cyber attacks, and it was clearly indicated they were from Russia, and they were doing malware attacks, cyber worms, phishing attacks, denial of service, probing, and different things at all levels within the government. They were primarily focusing on infrastructure in some areas. The agent that I spoke to, a good friend of mine, works within the Department of Energy, and he said the Department of Energy was hacked, and they were having to do a lot of what we call air gapping between networks to keep networks, up and running efficiently because of the sheer number of attacks across the entire spectrum. Now, the CISA just issued about a few hours ago. They just issued a warning that pretty much a checklist for all government agencies started adhering to. It looks like that cyber attacks were going to continue or actually be escalated It is well known that Russia does have the capability to attack our infrastructure, i.e. power grid, water pumping stations, substations, and what we basically call SCADA data, which is basically the machine language that operates a lot of our pumping stations and sewage stations. And the big threat here, of course, is pumping stations for nuclear power plants. So that started around 11:30, and I just got off a secure contact with him, and as for about a half hour ago, it's still ongoing. So it's been going on for several hours, several hours now, you know. So it's pretty serious. But that's just one thing that he had let me up. So I got a contact from another that he let us know that there was a convoy of Triple M's that had been moved out of Moscow on their way to Ukraine. That's a big threat issue, big concern. So a lot of things going on right now in the Ukraine theater.
Okay, now while this is going on, these big fish attacks, warning to all government agencies, these things that are happening. Also, I have reports now that we have gone to DEFCON 1. DEFCON 1. I actually seen the memo that was sent to me, leaked to me from an individual that's in the federal government. And if that's the case, you were sharing with me that Vladimir Putin has at least 4 ICBM, 4 Topo M intercontinental ballistic missiles on a convoy on the move to get in position.
Right. It was reported to an agency friend of mine who notified me to say, hey, make sure you're good and prepped and good to go because this thing's getting hot. Around this, that would be around 2:30 East Coast time. That'd be East Coast time. You're East Coast, right? You're East Coast time. About 2:30 East Coast time, it was reported that a convoy of Topo M's, which is now Topo M's are a very large scale ICBM, about 1 megaton. These are not tactical nukes; these are big boomers. At least 4, maybe up to 6, had been seen and reported going through Moscow on their way south to be placed in range of Ukraine. Now, of course, there's all sorts of support vehicles, and there's actually a whole, I think there's brigade-size security team that goes with this. So it's quite a big entourage. And the thing about it is, they're doing this, and obviously our satellites can see this movement. And as soon as they see movement like that, and if you see the threat increase, what that does to U.S. forces, it immediately takes them above DEFCON 3 to 2, then possibly 1 if the threat is real enough. If the threat is valid, they go to what they call cocked pistol. That's the highest level of readiness within U.S. forces. And that pretty much means everything is on alert. A long time ago, people have been called back from leave. Everyone is ready for deployment. Missiles are put on alert. Bombers are put on alert. Looking glass, the nuclear ICBM command control planes are put up. Sometimes they're called doomsday planes, are put into the air. Ships are, sent out to sea. Safeties are taken off of things. I mean, there's all sorts of steps that's taken if that's the case. And that's scary stuff there, Pastor. I mean, if Putin is ratcheting it up, if he's just trying to scare the Ukrainians, this should be scaring everyone who's listening to this broadcast, because there are no winners in a nuclear war. If he would drop Topo M's and into Ukraine, you're looking at mass death, radiation, fallout, and economic catastrophe worldwide. And we just don't know what would be our current response. Do you take out Moscow? And then, it's been reported, and I have sources that tell me that there are still multiple sightings as of around 3 o'clock Eastern time this afternoon. Another Russian a boomer or a nuclear ballistic missile submarine surfaced right off the coast of Virginia, showed its tubes and went back down. So basically, what Putin is saying is, say, guys, I'm off your coast. I can take out any of your cities within 6 to 10 minutes. So stand by. So don't jump into this thing. So that could be the psychological warfare message that Putin is sending Biden. Like, if you escalate this or you move troops from Poland into Ukraine, I'll go nuclear. And you can't second guess Putin. He's a hardliner. You can't get in his head. So that's where we're at right now, Pastor.
All right, Agent X. I appreciate this update. This is very important, and we're going to post this now on Patreon. And I thank you for this information, folks. Be in prayer. Be in prayer. Thank you so much, Agent X.
Yes, definitely. And I also learned from another Special Forces contact that Franco is going out, and a lot of Special Forces units are being moved into Poland, as well as some airborne personnel out of Fort Bragg are on the move as well. So sadly, it looks like both sides are ratcheting up the numbers of troops, and the more sophisticated weapons are being brought into play, and you just don't know where this thing's going to go. You really don't. And I'm also getting reports from an obscure person I cannot validate it, that Russia fired on a ship in the Black Sea today. So there's all sorts of stuff happening on multiple fronts. But all indicators are that that the Russian forces don't take Ukraine on the timetable that Putin wants, that he may really go nuclear. It's just unknown at this point.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the end of that video, that report, that leaked report. That was the end of that. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. I previously did a report on this leaked report. You can catch it at One Brothas Mind Channel. It's called DEFCON 1, as you see on your screen. But this is DEFCON 1 Part 2. That's what this report is, this broadcast. And we're going to look at this issue from a different angle today. And the angle is, if the U.S. government, the United States, if they are at DEFCON 1, cocked pistol, as you've seen on the chart, are you? Are you and your family at DEFCON 1? Are you at maximum readiness level? Because if you get one of them emergency messages on your cell phone, you may, as you heard in the report, you may only have 5 to 10 minutes or so in some parts of the United States to really try to respond. Or you know, if you're outside the blast radius in the United States of if a nuke were to strike us from Russia, you know, you may have a little bit longer, but it's not going to be much. What's your plan? If you're at maximum readiness, you got a plan. Do you know what to do? Do you understand how nuclear strikes and nuclear radiation and nuclear fallout, do you understand how that works? And what that would mean for you and your family? Uh-oh. A lot of y'all are sitting around just assuming that what's happening is over there. as you heard in the leak report, yeah, that's what's happening is over there, but you dealing with Putin. Putin, old school. He's a child of the Cold War. That man don't pull no punches. I mean, for weeks, you heard the mainstream media here in the U.S. talking about, oh, he's just bluffing. The troop build up. He's not going to go in. It wouldn't be in his best interest. He's not going to win. Yada, yada, yada. Right? Then what happened? Boom, 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 boom. All of a sudden. So if you're listening to the U.S. government and media sources, they've already showed you they don't know what they're talking about. And Putin has already proved that they don't know what they're talking about. So is it wise to keep listening to them fools? Or start paying attention to the man that's dropping bombs? Taking him more serious than you taking them. Because if we get involved or piss him off, and he decide to hit that big red button and send one over here, they ain't gonna do nothing but send out a little emergency text message and tell you got so many minutes to try to prepare or get yourself to safety. And that's it. They're gonna shrug their shoulders and say, oh well. So are you ready? Have you even been thinking about this? If you're a somewhat of a prepper, then you already got a lot of things put together, a lot of plans, a lot of resources and whatnot. And that's good. Keep going. Myself here at One Brothas Mind, I have some things. I have food storage on lock. My food storage is on lock. I got 6 months at least of food. Okay? I'm working on building up my other prepper supplies. I got my power tools because I never know if I have to put in some work, as Professor Black Truth said. Okay? Got those. I got some water storage supplies, but I'm working to improve those. I got to improve those and get to a more stable position of water supplies, where I got to get to where I can go out and find a natural water source and collect water there and treat it and filter it and make it usable and drinkable. I got to get to that point. But as far as just general water storage and whatnot in my home, I pretty much got that on lock. I'm also working to secure my power option, my generator. I still got to lock that down the way I want to lock it down. I got some initial temporary option, but my plan is to target and lock down solar. Okay? And solar typically is a bit more expensive than your regular gas generators and stuff. That's temporary, the gas generators. They'll get you through a few days, maybe a week or two, but the problem is you got to always find gas. Okay? If there's even just in a general power outage, if it lasts for a while, you probably ain't gonna be able to find no gas. Let alone a nuke strike. So that generator, a gas generator, ain't gonna do you no good in that situation. Which is another reason why the best generator option recommendation from One Brothas Mind is to work your way up to get you a solar setup. Okay? That way you can generate power no matter what. As long as the sun come up, and that's going to happen, you can generate power. Okay? Got your power tools. You got to get your power option. You got to get your water option. You got to get your food storage. Don't forget, if you or anyone in your family, you got to get you some backup meds. A lot of us family are on meds. Got to have an extended supply of those. There's a lot that you got to have. So we're going to discuss that today. We're going to chop this up. If there's the people in Ukraine, if y'all even been paying attention, y'all know they're going through it right now. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. Right? So that's what we're going to chop up today. And again, according to this leaked report, the U.S. government is already at cock pistol, DEFCON 1, maximum readiness. Okay? So if the U.S. and the U.S. government is at DEFCON 1, why aren't you? Why aren't you and your family? Uh-oh. So let's discuss this whole issue here. I mean, if there was a nuclear strike in the U.S., first thing you gotta try to get the information of is where was the impact? Okay. Y'all should be researching this stuff already and getting locked down, writing down some plans as to what do you need to know so you can know how to respond. But first thing you need to know is where was the impact? If you still breathing, it wasn't on your head, so you got a chance. But where was the impact? Do you have ways to get information? Is the internet going to be working? You can't just rely on that. Is the local television networks going to be working? Maybe, maybe not. Do you have radio option? You know, in situations like that, communication breaks down almost completely. And communication reverts back to, primitive forms. Radio, FM, AM. Your walkie-talkie, your ham radio option. Things of that nature. Oh, it gets real tight. You may not have any of those. Do you got a radio in your house that will pick up FM and AM? Many of y'all, the young people, y'all don't even know nothing about FM, AM radio. Y'all been listening to iTunes and YouTube y'all whole life. Here's a novel one. If there's a strike and say your power's out in your city, in your area, how you gonna get your FM, AM radio to try to tap in to hear some information? Uh-oh. Myself and One Brothas Mind, I already got my wind up solar powered little handheld radio. The ones you just sit there holding and just spin the little wheel on it and it generates its own power if you ain't even got no sun. Resources and tools like that are extremely important because you may not have no power, but you still need some information. Right? Because without information, with no power, you in trouble. And a nuke done hit somewhere or something done happened. You don't know what happened. Just boom. Just all of a sudden, all your power go out. Ain't no internet. Ain't no TV. You got a little bit of charge on your phone, but ain't no internet. Uh-oh. Very important tool, y'all. The little wind-up solar radios that you can get off of Amazon. I'm going to try to post some links to some of that stuff in the description on this video afterwards, but that's a huge tool in that situation. Okay, say you got something like that and you able to, or you find out beforehand or somehow you know the impact location. All right, with a nuclear strike, you need to know which way the wind's blowing. Some of y'all say, why? Cause first you got the blast radius and the circles of effect of radiation that form outside the blast. But then the radiation is in the air, y'all. It's airborne. So the direction that the wind is blowing is would be huge, because are you upstream or downstream when it comes to the wind? If you downstream, if the wind is blowing in your direction, you got some choices to make. You got some decisions to make. Are you going to try to bunker down, or are you going to bug out? Uh-oh. If you upstream, okay, maybe you can say, well, we're going to bunker down because the wind's not blowing our direction, at least not right now. But so maybe we can try to bunker down. Right? But if the wind is blowing in your direction, or you don't know at all, what do? What's the safest thing or safest place you can be if there was a nuclear strike? Do y'all know? Okay. I'm going to give it to you. The safest place you can be if there's a nuclear strike is the furthest underground that you can possibly get. And is sealed of an environment as you can possibly make it. Okay? Because the radiation, if the blast and the impact and that initial, if you're not in that main damage circle where it just hits you hard and take you out right off the top, if you're outside that circle, now you're trying to minimize your exposure to the radiation. And the more you're exposed to that, the worse you are, or the least exposure you get, the better off you are. Did you know if there was a strike and you're outside the main instant kill circle and all that, and you're hunkered down or bunkered down somewhere, underground or whatever, if you got access to a shower, did you know it's a good idea to go ahead and take a shower? But be very careful. If you're going to take a shower to try to wash any radiation residue off of your body and your clothes and change your clothes, make sure you don't scratch yourself in nowhere. Don't break your skin with your clothes or anything. Because open skin or open wound, radiation get right into that. Okay? Did you know that? Ha. Just little notes. If you didn't, y'all need to be doing your research. Y'all need to be making yourself aware of these things. This ain't no joke, y'all. And for all the listeners, please smash the likes. We're going in on this a little bit, y'all, this evening. Trying to help somebody. I'm trying to help all of us. You know, I did a whole bunch of extra research on this just to do this broadcast. So this was, great for me and mine. But I ain't selfish. It ain't about me. That's this whole channel here at One Brothas Mind. It's not about me. I'm trying to help people. Trying to help us, especially the B1 family. But all people in general, but especially the B1 family. What you gonna do? Boom. Now what? What you gonna do? You alive? Now what? Where you go? Where you gonna go? If the safest place is to be underground, as deep as you can get, where are you gonna go? A lot of the people in Ukraine, y'all seen a lot, if you've been watching the reports and the images, a lot of the people in Ukraine, they're camping out and in subways underground, avoiding the regular bombs and potentially being able to stay out of the way of a nuclear blast. Okay? Where are you gonna go? Every city does not have a subway system. I know I don't have one. I ain't got one where I'm at. I'm in the Nat Town in Indianapolis. We don't have no subway systems here, so that's not an option for me. So, where you gonna go? What you gonna do, y'all? You gotta find the answers to those questions. Are you gonna stay in your home and try to bunker down? Or are you gonna bug out? If you're gonna bug out, do you have these type of things that you see on your screen already? Are you ready for that? Do you have an insulated tent set up already? And the supplies you need to be out? Especially, y'all, we in the middle of winter right now. In Indiana, across the country. You can literally find yourself, if the nuke drop, boom, you might have to bug out right now. You got an insulated tent. You got insulated sleeping bags and all those types of things. You got your bug out bag all packed up with the resources you're going to need to be out there. Do you got at least 2 different types of modes of transportation? Because if the nuke strike, there's a possibility your car is not going to operate. You're not going to be able to start it. It's a possibility. Because nukes have a bit of also a EMF effect. Did y'all know that? Comes with it. A lot of electronics and things is jacked up. So your car may not just start. Right? Then what? Your car, your truck. You know? Now some people have invested in Mylar or Faraday car covers. Faraday car covers. To help shield their car or truck in case of an EMF issue or blast or, something like that would happen with a nuclear strike. To try to improve the chances of their car or truck being able to operate and start. Okay? You got that? Did you know about that? Okay. Again, do you got some kind of tent, some kind of temporary shelter? That you know how to set up and use? When the last time you been camping? If you got all that, that's a big if. When the last time you been camping, Black family? Oh, it's been, you say never? What about, you ain't got to go through a whole big old thing about to go to camping. You can go camping right in your backyard. You can get your whichever tent supply that you feel is going to work best for you and your family. And just set it up right in your backyard. And literally camp right in the backyard as practice. right? You and your family, just do it a few times. And get used to it. Get used to setting up your tent. Cooking food outside with no, stove and no regular stove and all that, microwave and all that stuff. Right? Again, you have at least 2 different options for transportation, because if your car or truck won't start and run after that type of situation, do you have another alternate form of transportation, like a bike or an electric bike or a small motorcycle or mini bikes, things like that? I mean, a bike is the bare basic. Gonna be tiring though, cause you got to pedal to get where you want to go with a bike. So your travel distance is gonna be limited, but at least you got another, with a bike you can travel, right? Are the tires aired up? Even better would be an electric bike, a solar power electric bike, or small mini bike, or small motorcycle, like a dirt bike or something. The smaller the better. And if you got like a small mini bike or dirt bike or something, then you're gonna need some gas. So if you bugging out, you're gonna have to have some kind of gas can strapped to the bike or something, some kind of which in a way. Because one tank, it'll get you a while. It's gonna get you pretty far, but it ain't gonna take you everywhere. And you may not be able to find no more gas when you run out of gas that's in your tank. Right? I mean, there's, like I said, there's certain things that you got to have the ability, if you bug out, you got to have the ability to create for your own, for yourself, right? Like these. If you bugged out and you out there, can you produce your own food in the wild, if need be? You got some fishing poles, you got your power tools so you can hunt certain things that you can eat. You and your family. Now, to set a basic trap, again, you gotta be able to collect water, know how to find sources of natural water. You got a local map around your area that shows where little streams are within 5, 10, 20, 30 mile radius of where you live? Do you already have that information? Or when they say emergency, you got to try to figure it out? Uh-oh. My point is, ladies and gentlemen, the last place and position that you want to be in is trying to figure all this out after you get the emergency text on your phone. You in a world of hurt, you and your family. If that's when you trying to figure all this stuff out, get these things together, or come up with some alternatives because you don't have most of these things situated. I'm with you. I ain't got everything, but I got quite a few of these things on lock already, and I'm working toward the others quickly. Okay, I bought some stuff this morning. Okay. Ain't no better time than the present. to improve on your preps. Okay? Do you know how to fish? Know how to hunt? I mean, let's say, like in the Ukraine, you had to bug out because the bomb hit close enough to you where it's going to be not going to be safe for you to stay and hunker down in your home. You gotta move, but you don't want to go out. You ain't got the stuff and the supplies to go out like on your own with your family in wherever you can be with a tent. So you're like, if you live in a place that's got subways, you go into the nearest subway station, going underground there. You got masks and things of that nature to help protect yourself. Say there's no subway station. You live in a city, the sewer right out there on the street, right outside your house. Are you ready to drop down like in this picture on your screen? Drop down in the sewer, pull that manhole off, that lid off, and drop down in there. Put that lid back on. Gonna need some light. Gonna need some mask. Gotta have some food supplies with you. Your bug out bag. Whole lot of stuff if you're going down in the sewer. Hang out. Okay. You said, nah, I ain't doing that. KD Smooth, you tripping. I ain't doing that. Oh, okay. Well, how about, do you have a basement in your house? If not, who do you know that has a basement in their house? Have you called them? Have you connected with them and talked to them and say, hey, what's y'all plans? What you plan on? If something happened where you get hit, can we come over? Me and the children, can we come over and get in your basement? Have you talked to your siblings, your relatives? Okay. No? You better pick up the phone. Start calling some people. Okay. And then the other question you have to ask yourself about that is this sibling or relative or friend that's got a basement, do they have the personality that you and your family will be able to be around in an emerging situation like that, and y'all able to work that out? Or are they high strung and trying to do that is not going to be successful in some way? Or here's another one. They may have a basement, but they may have the mindset, this ain't serious. They ain't taking none of this stuff serious. They not prepping. They don't have, a lot of prep things, stored up and stacked up, ready to go. Do you want to take your preps that you have over to their house and y'all live off of just what you see what I'm saying? Now your preps ain't gonna last you and your family but half the time. Yeah, they love you to come over here. Bring all your I know you got some stuff stored up. Bring it all. Load the trunk up. Come on. There's a lot of dynamics that you got to work out. And in that emergent situation, once you get that emergency new text message, you ain't got a lot of time to figure all this out. That's my point. Have you made those phone calls here? If the U.S. government is on DEFCON 1, according to this leak report right now, are you and your family on DEFCON 1? If not, why not? If the government's on DEFCON run, you best believe KD Smooth is ready to go. It's ready to respond one way or the other. No, I don't have every prep resource, but I got what I got. And I'm gonna make that do. Y'all hear me? You know, once again, like you see on your screen, you got to be aware of where the impact was and which way the wind's blowing. Because that determines which way the radiation is going to flow, as you see on your screen. And so you know that, you know whether you're downstream, which that means you got to move. You got to get underground for real. You got to get out of the way of the radiation, if at all possible. If you're upstream, you might be able to hunker down. And if you think, oh, we're just going to jump in the car, like I said, your car may not work. But let's say it does. Let's say it starts up. You're like, oh, come on, y'all, let's get in the car. Let's go. Okay, which way you going? Let me go back to it. Which way you going? Because if there was one nuke strike, pick a spot. Then that drastically increases the probability that there may be a second one or a third one in other locations. Where you going? Explain to me where safety is, other than going underground some kind of which way. Do you have your preps? Have you been prepping? Family, I keep telling y'all this. I'm trying to explain this to y'all. The 400 years, according to Scripture, in the it's in Deuteronomy, chapter 28, not verse 28, chapter 28. Read that whole chapter. The 400 years are up of captivity, y'all. This is why we're dealing with all these crazy new things. Now, everything is worse than it's ever been or been for thousands of years. The weather emergency, catastrophe. The predator. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, here at One Brothas Mind, we don't use that C word for this thing that we've been dealing with for the last couple of years. We call it the predator. Or pestilences. These are in Scripture, y'all. This has all been prophesied. And I've said it in my previous broadcast. Wherever you want to say we are in relation to the end times, in the birth pains, pre-trib, in the trib, mid-trib, wherever you want to say we're you call it. I'm just telling you, we there. We are having tribulations, y'all, wherever we are positioned. Or at the very least, the birth pains. And they're just going to continue to get worse. Everything is going to escalate. The pace of these things happening, they're going to begin to start happening on top of each other. Not one after the other, on top of each other. Several at the same time. Are you ready for that? Do you and your family have a disaster plan? Have you mapped out all the different types of weather disasters, nuclear disaster, war on our soil, all these different things. And then with each one, map out a plan, what you need. What do you need to have as far as supplies? What's your plan of response to try to survive? I mean, like my man right here on your screen in the middle of the screen at the bottom. Are you ready like that with your power tools? Because if you hunker down and you got your storage and whatnot, guess what? Especially if you're in the city, but anywhere really, there are a lot of people that don't have food supplies or water supplies and whatnot. They playing game, they partying, they laughing, they tripping. Ain't nothing gonna happen in there. Boom. 2, 3, 4 days later, how long they gonna go without eating? Finding something to eat. They gonna start going house to house trying to break in, trying to find some food, anything. That's me, y'all, in the center picture, in the bottom of the screen there. I got my power tools. I'm still working on getting more of them. You can't never have enough power tools or better said, enough ammo. Right? Do you have your money diversified? We recommend here at One Brothas Mind that the majority, say 90+% of your money should be with you. Not in a bank, not on a card, nowhere, not in all that. It should be with you. Okay? Because guess what? Most of the people in the Ukraine, if y'all been paying attention, y'all done heard it. They had a run on the banks. It started before the bombs started dropping. And if you were living in the Ukraine doing what you doing right now, not doing anything, not having your money with you, you would be one of them jokers out there going around to your bank trying to get some money. Why? Why put yourself in that position? You should already have most of your money with you, so you sit back. Not have to be out there, because it's crazy out there in them streets in the Ukraine, just like it would be here. Not safe. And just in general, is in today's world, in the U.S., I know they done got y'all believing all the lies about the FDIC insurance and the bank is this and that. Y'all, your money ain't safe. Most preppers already know this, and most people that are prepping already went and got most of their money out of the bank. Or they're in the process of pulling it out. Why aren't you? Y'all do know the U.S. economy is crumbling, right? At some point, they're already putting restrictions on how much money you can withdraw out of your bank accounts and different things at some banks. That stuff's already happening. Better do your research. Again, meds, food stores, your bug out type supplies, water storage, your power tools, solar generator to be able to generate power. If you don't have these things, you better start getting them. You can laugh and key all you want. Roll past KD Smooth spot after the emergency done happened, and thinking you gonna discover some supplies or something. You gonna be in a track meet with some hot ones, passing, flying by your ears. At best. Yeah. So, I mean, hopefully y'all feeling me and my purpose of doing this video. is that you gotta always work to prepare yourselves, family. You gotta work to prepare yourself. The more prep you can be, the better. Okay? The more prepped you can be, the better. And ladies and gentlemen, I want, let me fix that. Sisters, come here for a minute. Just slide over to close for a minute. Let me holler at y'all. I know a lot of y'all like all the nice and finer things. Y'all been enjoying life and all the luxuries that the world has to offer, especially here in the U.S. But I got a news flash, y'all. These things are all these luxuries are going to start going away, not being available because of these emergencies and disasters and things that are going to be happening. Y'all have already been through it. We already had the predator hit. You saw how your life changed, stuck in the house with your bottom lip hanging out for weeks, months. Yeah. You know, most sisters I know, oh, you can't sit in the house for a whole day. That next day, she gonna be looking crazy, talking about what we really do, where we going. So, you know, my heart during the predator, man, I've been praying for all my fellas I know that are married. Woo, Lord, I know y'all done caught absolute hell. You know, trying to maintain peace in the household. Day after day after day, week after week, stuck in the house. Now, don't get it twisted. There's some sisters that are homebody, but ain't no more than one or two. The rest of them, woo-hoo-hoo, Lord have mercy. But that was training, y'all, as a wise friend of mine used to always say to me. The predator was nothing but training to get y'all ready for what's going to happen next. Y'all do know that, right? So, sisters, y'all got to get yourself in a completely different mindset, in a different spirit. If you with your husband, your man, and they willing to put forth investment instead of going to take that cruise, spend that money on getting a bunch of supplies, get your prepping started. These things can actually help save your life. Stop blowing money on all these cruises. I mean, I get it. You want to get out and all that's fine. But you need life-saving items as well. Actually more. Especially today. Stop giving your man a hard time when he's trying to have these conversations with you. When he asks you, baby, let's go camping. Where we going? We right in the backyard. Right here. We're gonna camp all night, wake up. You know, we're gonna fix us a fire. We'll get the things we need to be able to fix us a fire outdoors in the backyard. Get your little wood burning stove or a little grill or something. Feed yourself out there. Sleep in the tent and everything. Put it up. Wake up in the morning, fix you some breakfast out there, everything. Figure out how you gonna use the bathroom, everything. Go through the whole process out there. And you say, well, I ain't got a backyard. I live in an apartment. Okay. 9 times out of 10, you know somebody that lives in a house that's got a backyard. Call them. Say, hey, I want to do some camping practice and whatnot, me and my family, and I ain't got no backyard. I was wanting to see if we could borrow your backyard for a night or two, a day or two of camping, where we just outside. We're not going to knock on your door for nothing. Ain't going to ask for nothing. But we'll be physically in your backyard. You know, ladies, you ain't gotta, I mean, it's nice if you can go to a camping site somewhere in the woods around all the trees and the niceness and everything, the shrubbery. That's cool. If you can make that happen, fine. Make it happen like that. But if nothing else, family, that gets a little pricey sometimes. You just go right in the backyard. Your backyard or the backyard of somebody you know. Set up shop. Get that experience in for a day or two of camping and then be like, okay, we had these things, we did this, but here's the things that we need. Here's the other things we need that we didn't have that made that rough. So if we get some of these other things, camping will be even easier and more flexible for us. Right? Come on, sisters. Especially those that are married. That man, when he said I do, he pledged to lay his life down for you. It makes no sense for that to happen and y'all just stuck in your house because you too high strung to listen to the good plan of, hey, let's get underground some kind of which way, or let's bug out. Doing that would be a better option than just sitting here in our ranch house, above ground, just vulnerable to anything and everything. I mean, sometimes hunkering down in your home, that's the best plan. No doubt. But it varies depending on the situation. What has happened? What emergency is occurring? We've gone a long time here in the U.S. without having any type of war on our land, any type of opposing military on our land. It's coming, y'all. It's coming. For those that do their scripture research and reading and studying, y'all already know who the second beast is mentioned in Revelation, the book of Revelation. I think it's Revelation 13. Y'all know that's the U.S. with the two horns that started out like a lamb, a Christian nation, but then spake as a dragon. That's the U.S., y'all. I'm trying not to go get deep into scripture in this video. I want to keep this focused on, are you ready? Are you prepared? Prepping? My point though with the Revelation thing is, these disaster type things are coming to the U.S. The U.S. is going to fall, y'all. It's falling and crumbling up right as we speak. So y'all better get your preps like you see on your screen. You better get them together. Get them together. Start working on it if you haven't started. You ain't got to say, well, that's too much. I can't do everything. No, one thing at a time. Start prepping food. Start building up your food preps. Get yourself built up to like as close as you can to 6 months worth of food. If today, boom, something happened, you can't go to the grocery store, can't leave your house, whatever, for 6 months. Do you and your family have enough food in your house right now as you're listening to survive and eat for 6 months? If not, buy some more food. And you got to research. A lot of the prepping information and research, y'all, is freely available on the internet, especially on YouTube. And don't just click on one video and listen to one person. Research. Check out on specific prepping categories. Check out multiple people. Find out what preps will work for you and your family. You know, because a lot of these places are selling these bags and boxes of food prep that'll last for 25 years, 30 years, okay? If you want to go that route, that's fine. But the smartest route to go is, have you ever eaten that food? 9 times out of 10, no. So how do you know you're going to be able to stomach it and eat it during an emergency situation when you need to eat some food? It could be nasty as all get out. You ain't never tasted it. Meanwhile, you can rack up on canned goods and other non-perishables, things of that nature. Stuff that you already know you eat, you and your family eat. Most canned goods are good for a year and a half, 2 years. And if you rack up and stack up on that type of stuff, just keep it in good rotation. Keep using the old and replenishing what you use with new. Get your water storage. Get you a plan. A couple cases of bottled water is cool, but you need more than that. Do you got a way to filter water from outside? From some stream somewhere? You ever heard of a BERKEY filter? They got them in their little water bottles now. A straw. They even got straws that'll filter unfiltered outdoors water. I should say water from outdoors somewhere. I mean, there's so much information, y'all, and it's here for free. If you just get off of TikTok, get on YouTube and start doing your research, start making plans. Get your food preps together. Get some water preps together. Get your power tools together. Work on getting you some kind of generator. But if you can, get a solar generator. The bigger and more powerful, the better. Get your bug out bag. Okay, y'all. Again, my point is, if the U.S. is on DEFCON 1 right now, are you and your family on DEFCON 1? At maximum readiness? Right now also? If not, why not? Again, ladies and gentlemen, please like, share, and subscribe. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to get this, not only this broadcast and information out to as many as possible, but all the broadcasts and information we do here at One Brothas Mind is designed to try to be informative and helpful. Okay? Inspiring to do things that we all need to do more of. To better position ourselves and so we can try to protect ourselves and survive in a variety of different situations. So, y'all let me know what you think in the comments. Let's chop it up. Are you ready? Are you at DEFCON 1? Or you been sitting around, still watching TV, chilling the whole day, not giving a care in the world about what's going on, and you got a child of the Cold War over here dropping bombs on people, and Russia got nuclear subs over here surfacing over here around the U.S. In the report, I believe he said near Virginia, just outside off the Virginia coast, just popped up like, hey, I'm here. All right, I'm going back down, y'all. See y'all later. Just know it. Just don't forget, I'm over here. Russia ain't that far away from you. There's a video. I actually posted it on my other social media pages. But There's a short video. It's on TikTok, y'all, where this man explains how close Russia, the land of Russia, actually is, y'all. It's only about 56 miles from a point in Alaska, y'all. Alaska's the U.S., y'all. And about 56 miles away from there, you can physically see it. If you're standing in Alaska, in that area, you can see it with your eyes. You can see Russia, the land. You can see it. I know y'all, you used to seeing the regular map where United States and Russia got this big old gap between. No. You got to spin the globe around. Remember that big old ball used to be in school, spinning around? Look at the other side. The west coast, northwest coast of America, where Alaska is, and where Russia stops. 55 miles, y'all. That's all. So y'all better step your game up. Get your research family together. We got to be prepared for as much of everything as we can be, family. It's a requirement. So we thank you for joining us here at One Brothas Mind. And this concludes this broadcast for One Brothas Mind. Like I said, we thank you for joining us. And here at One Brothas Mind, being on code for the B1 family is mandatory. And making B1 choices is required. But never fear. Yeshua the Christ is with you always. Shalom.